We've been studying the art of seduction in the Regal Change Academy recently, and the steps that it takes to seduce somebody is highly manipulative, and you can use this frame of psychology on really anyone that you want to seduce, whether it's seduce people into a sale in business or a purchase in business, or seduce people into an ideology, or seduce people into a psyop, or seduce people into any kind of romantic relation. You can use the framework in The Art of Seduction written by Robert Greene however you want to use it. And there are certain steps that are going to be required in order for you to go about this. But when somebody just likes you for who you are, it's not going to be very difficult to understand or confusing or anything like that, because of course in many ways people want to be seduced. They want to be led into a story. I mean, think about going to the movies or something like that, or you want to be captured by a story. You want to be captured by something that is going to be meaningful to you or relatable to you. Even you just watching this video, in some way and in many ways, not that I'm seducing you, but I'm giving value to the degree in which you want to keep coming back. At least that's the goal, right? That's what I'm aiming to do. The aim is for you to keep coming back and to enjoy what I'm putting out there as far as the information, but I don't want it to just be entertainment. Okay, this is not an entertainment channel. This is something to give you the tools and the wisdom to see what's actually going on in the world, and to see why people behave the way that they do, and for many men out there, why women behave the way that they do, because many men don't understand why women do what they do. And women are the best when it comes to psychological manipulation. But when a woman just likes you for who you are, now a lot of men might say that it's not even possible, or is it possible? They'll ask themselves, is it possible? And I'll say, well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that neighbors came out. Where was I? Yes, in the sense that you can have a woman or a man want you for who you are. Well, in this case, we're talking about women wanting men for who they are, right? So we'll stick with that for the time being. So, of course, a woman can want you for who you are, because who you are comprises of all the things that you've done or that you have made yourself to be as a man. Me, for example, there are many women that like me. The ones that do like me, I ought to say, is that they like me whether it's my facial hair or my skin complexion or my eyes. I've had many women tell me that there's just something about the spirit in my eyes. You know, things like that, where I've even had women tell me that they've been hypnotic looking into my eyes. I don't really think that I have like that compelling of eyes, but for the woman who wants you for you, they can see your spirit, they can see your aura. And especially if you're on semen retention, or if you are celibate as a man, this is going to be happening to you. And when I had hair, not that I like don't have hair, but I cut it off just last week. When I had hair that was, long, I would have women all the time, they would compliment how curly my hair was, or how it stood out from other men or whatnot. And it's just, the things like that. It's nice to get those kinds of compliments, of course, but when a woman is complimenting you like that, and she's complimenting your appearance and such, you have to recognize, like, maybe she just wants you for who you are, man. Like, maybe Maybe she just likes the way that you've presented yourself. Maybe she just likes your energy. I mean, women always say, oh, it's a vibe, right? It's a vibe. And I've gotten some weird compliments from women in the past, some very strange compliments. I mean, I don't even know if I want to talk about the weird kind of compliments, but all of the compliments that I've kind of gotten are very unusual comments and compliments about who I am. And that's because I'm a different kind of person, even though I'm not really that different from anybody else. I just have a very, very much greater awareness of who I am and why I am the way that I am. I know who I am. And this kind of irks some men. Like, men will be intimidated when you know who you are and they don't understand you. Like, you might understand you, but they don't understand you. And that's why it's going to be, for them, it's going to be something that bothers them, that intimidates them. And you got to be careful with that. And one thing that I've learned as well is you cannot judge a man by his looks as a man. If you judge a man by his looks, you're not seeing what other women are seeing. Because, you know, you might think that you're more attractive than this other guy or whatever, but maybe this other guy, sure, maybe he's got more of a charisma to him. Maybe he's got more of a cheekiness to him. Maybe he's got more of a roughness to him. Who knows what it is, right? But the biggest thing you have to recognize as a man is you have to just be the best version of yourself and just be who you are. And the right women that want you, they'll demonstrate that. They'll show you. It's not going to be hard and difficult with a woman that does, like, if a woman wants you, unless she has low self-esteem, or she just believes you're way better than her, it's going to be very easy. It's going to be very simple. It's not going to be difficult at all. And I found that women, like, I have a very much different experience with women, I suppose, than most men now. And I know what it's like to feel invisible, to not get compliments from women, all these things. I mean, even just the other day, I've had this one older woman who, she's not actually old. She's maybe in her 30s or early 40s. And at the gym, she's very attractive, obviously. Like, she is in great shape. Would never actually be attracted to her. I'm not like attracted to her, but I can tell that she's attractive, right? And she like came by me the other day as I was doing sit-ups. And she just, I could feel her pause standing next to me as I was on the sit-up bench thing. Because it's like an incline, or I guess technically a decline bench. Because it's down, and so you're coming up with the incline to get the lower abs a little bit more. And I could hear her whisper, "Oh, that's so hot." Like, it's just a crazy dynamic. I never experienced this kind of stuff up until I was maybe 24, 25. 24, I would say, 24. And I'm 29 now. And when you get to the point to where you love yourself and you respect yourself, women see that. Other men, I don't think other men can see that. Not all the time. And so if you're trying to make sense of certain things when it comes to the topic of understanding why women behave the way that they do around you, if they're playing a lot of hot and cold games and whatnot, it's not always that you're the issue, okay? You know what's crazy is I had the other day, it was Monday. Monday I had like 3 or 4 women from my past reach out to me, and then I had other women that I Yeah, that we'll not go into that. But I had like 3 or 4 women reach out to me from my past, and then one of the women that I saw at that day, or at the gym that day, was a woman who I've talked about briefly on the channel before. This was a woman who, when I was 24, 25, I thought this woman was going to be my wife. Okay, and I found out that she was married and had a kids and a husband, all these things, right? All these, this whole dynamic was just very bizarre with her. And I found out after 2 months of talking to her and with her, and she seemed like she was a Christ-centered woman, right? She was a follower of Christ. And you know what I found was that since then, my experience has been married women have always been easier to attract. And I don't say this with glee. I kind of say this with a bit of sorrow, actually, because, and I'm not trying to scare anybody into not getting married or anything like that. I'm just saying that this is the reality. And so you want to make sure as a man that the woman actually likes you for you. So this is why you have to become the best possible version of yourself. If you didn't have all the accolades, if you didn't have the abilities you do, if you didn't have the ways in which your mind is mentally strong and you have a fortitude within yourself and your spirit is not breakable. Like, you have an unbreakable spirit. Women will respond to this. And you have to accept yourself first before you get to that point. As soon as I began to accept myself fully, and a lot of men don't want to admit this either, but there was a time where a woman and I were talking in the talking stage, so to speak. I don't like calling it the talking stage, but you'll understand more when I say this. So we were at the talking stage, and she had told me how great everything was going for her and all this stuff, and how, you know, everything was just high and dandy, right? And I was having kind of a rough day. Didn't really care to talk to her too much and whatnot, and so she was asking me, like, what's going on, like, and I just told her, like, it's just not been a good day. And immediately she went into like this, not mother mode, but like her nourishing feminine instincts came out. And from then on, we didn't end up going anywhere after that, because I guess it was like 2 or 3 weeks later after that, because I recognized who she really was, and she had these feminine aspects. I would always bring out her femininity. But like, women, when they get around me, it's almost like they can't help their femininity coming out until they have their brainwashed feminine brain just retract, and then they lash out on accident. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a boundary. We can't cross that. You know, one strike, okay, I don't like this. If you do this again, we can't be compatible. We're just not compatible. And if she continues, she persists, well, then that's unfortunate. And I've had to let go of a lot of women like this, and 3 of them reached out, 3 or 4. It was very strange the other day. It was just very random. All women from my past. And then one even was new, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, one was new, reaching out to me in my DMs. And I don't know where these women come from, man. I don't know where they come from exactly. And if they're watching this, I mean, well, who cares? I don't care. I'm just being real. But the point I really want to drive home is, a woman will respect you when you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, they're going to like you for who you are. It's as simple as that. So with all that being said, maybe they just like you for who you are. Maybe if you just be who you are, they'll like you for who you are. I hope everybody stays blessed out there. Peace be with you. Until next time.